Well, we know they're going to be one of the best offensive teams because they have the firepower, right? You have three guys that not only can create for others, create for themselves, but get others around them better.
Luka Dončić is averaging 34.6 points per game for the Lakers. He's broken franchise scoring records.
Looking. Castle right with him. Doncic a three. Puts it in! Luka Dončić from downtown!
He's leading the league in scoring while running an offense that looks unstoppable at times. But here's the thing. The numbers only tell part of the story. Because what Luka's doing in Los Angeles right now goes way beyond the stat sheet. This is about redemption. This is about a player who got traded away, questioned publicly, and then came back with a vengeance that the league simply wasn't ready for. Let's break down how Luka became the NBA's worst nightmare. February 2025, the Lakers traded Anthony Davis to Dallas for Luka Dončić in one of the most shocking moves in NBA history. And Dallas didn't just let him go quietly. The Mavericks organization publicly questioned his work ethic, his commitment, and his lifestyle. They basically told the world he wasn't worth building around anymore. That was their first mistake. Because if there's one thing we know about Luka, it's that this dude is one of the most competitive players in basketball. Miami Heat head coach Erik Spoelstra watched him play at a Eurobasket training camp, and he still remembers it vividly. Just an incredible competitive spirit. I remember the first time I saw him play. I'll never forget it. I went to watch Goran Dragic at Eurobasket, so I stopped by their training camp. Luka was 18, and everyone in the gym was stunned by how cerebral his game already was. He could make all the rotations, all the reads, just pick you apart. His fundamentals, his footwork, his skill level, all elite. But more than anything, even then, he could rise to the level of competition. That's what all the great ones do. Competition brings out something most players can't reach. So when Dallas cast him off like that, when they made it public, when they questioned everything about him, they created a monster. Luka showed up to Lakers training camp transformed, leaner, focused. The Guardian called it his Terminator moment, and honestly, that's exactly what it looks like. He embraced that mentality and made it his fuel. In the season opener against the Warriors, LeBron James out with sciatica, the Lakers hand Luka the keys to the franchise. The pressure's immense, national TV audience, playing against Steph Curry and the Warriors, and what does he do? Drops 43 points with 12 rebounds and 9 assists. The Lakers lost 119 to 109, but that almost doesn't matter when you look at what Luka did individually. He shot 17 for 27 from the field, played 41 minutes, nearly had a triple-double. Third most points by a Laker in a season opener, only Elgin Baylor and Kobe Bryant ahead of him. But the real statement came a couple of days later against Minnesota. 49 points, 11 rebounds, 8 assists, on 14 for 23 shooting, with 5 threes, scored 23 in the first quarter alone, matching Kobe and Kyle Kuzma for the most prolific Lakers opening quarter in 30 years. He had 32 by halftime, and the entire building was buzzing. Lakers fans hadn't seen this kind of offensive explosion since prime Kobe. But here's the crazy part. He played through a hand injury the entire game, got hurt in the opening moments and just kept going. Nearly hit his 8th career 50-point game, but missed his final 2 field goals and a late free throw. With that performance, Luka became the 4th player in NBA history to start a season with back-to-back 40-point games. The other 3? Wilt Chamberlain, Michael Jordan, and Anthony Davis. Austin Reeves added 25 points and 11 assists that night. Rui Hachimura chipped in with 23. The Lakers won 128 to 110, and suddenly everyone's talking about how this offense might be unstoppable. So what makes Luka such a nightmare matchup? Let's start with the obvious. He's 6'8", 230 pounds.
Reeves, dug it in. Doncic, 47!
That's forward size with guard skills. You can't put a traditional point guard on him because he'll just back them down and bully them in the post. You can't put a forward on him because he's too skilled and too quick with his handle. It's a lose-lose situation for defenses. Then there's the step back 3, that signature move that's basically become unguardable. Luka creates so much space on it that even when defenders know it's coming, they can't do anything about it. He's shooting 31.7% from deep this season, which isn't elite, but he always seems to hit them when it matters. The foul drawing might be his most underrated skill. Luka's averaging 12.5 free throw attempts per game. He knows how to initiate contact, how to get defenders reaching, how to make refs blow the whistle. He's shooting 79% from the line, so those trips to the stripe add up fast. But the real problem for teams is the playmaking. When you send help, when you double him, when you try to take the ball out of his hands, that's when his court vision destroys you. Watch this. 3 defenders collapse, and Luka finds Hayes for the easy alley-oop. That's the problem defenses face every possession. He's averaging 9 assists per game while running a Lakers offense that jumped from 0.92 points per possession on pick and rolls to 1.18 since he arrived. That's a massive improvement. That's elite territory. Oklahoma City found a temporary solution on November 13th. They held Luka to a season-low 19 points by running what they called a 5-man defense. Constant double teams, weak side traps, collapsing on him from everywhere while being disciplined enough not to foul. It worked for one game. But here's the thing about that strategy. It requires perfect execution, elite defensive personnel, and it completely opens up everyone else. Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, DeAndre Ayton all get wide open looks when you commit that much attention to Luka. And most teams don't have the personnel to run that scheme. So what are defenses supposed to do? Pick your poison. Let Luka cook you for 40, or let everyone else eat open layups and corner threes all night. Let's talk about what he's actually producing on a nightly basis. 34.6 points, 8.5 rebounds, 9 assists per game. Leading the league in scoring, 4th in assists. He's got a true shooting percentage of 61.7, which is elite efficiency for someone with his usage rate. And that usage rate, 37.8%. That's extremely high. That means over a third of the Lakers' possessions end with Luka either shooting, getting fouled, or turning it over. And despite that massive load, his turnover percentage is actually a career best 9.1%. Think about that. He's got the ball in his hands more than ever, making more decisions, running more pick and rolls, and he's taking care of the ball better than any season of his career. That's maturity, that's growth. That's a player figuring out how to be more efficient while doing more. His assist percentage is at 21.9%, which is elite playmaking territory. He's creating looks for teammates at a rate only a handful of players in the league can match, and he's doing it while leading the league in scoring. Look at the command he has from the top of the key. One pass, perfectly timed, and LaRavia gets a wide open layup. That's elite orchestration. He's also broken multiple Lakers franchise records already. Most points in the first 30 games as a Laker, beating Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's record, and the fastest Laker to 5 games with 35-5. On November 2nd against Miami, Luka recorded his 83rd career triple-double, 29 points, 11 rebounds, 10 assists, and 3 steals. A couple of days later against San Antonio, he went off for 35 points, 9 rebounds, and 13 assists with 5 steals and 2 blocks, a near triple-double with elite defensive stats. Then came the Milwaukee game on November 15th. This was the statement. 41 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 blocks. Shot 9 for 19 from the field, hit 5 threes, and went 18 for 20 from the free throw line. That's 90% from the stripe in a game where he got there 20 times. The Lakers destroyed Milwaukee by 24 points. Luka completely took over the game in the second half, and Milwaukee had no answers. That was his 4th 40-point game of the season through just 10 games. He's now 134-79 in his career when scoring 30 or more points. When Luka goes off, teams win. But what's really changed this season isn't just the stats, it's how Luka's carrying himself. In Dallas, he was the quiet star, led by example, kept to himself, let his play do the talking. That worked when the team was built around him from day one. Los Angeles is a bit different. This was LeBron's team, these are LeBron's teammates. Luka had to earn his place in a different way, and he's done it by being more vocal, more demonstrative, more of a leader in the traditional sense. Austin Reeves talked about how the trade was a genuine shock for Luka, having to uproot his family, move across the country, deal with all the criticism from Dallas. Reeves said it was tough, that Luka was in a state of shock for a while. But now, Reeves says Luka's comfortable, having a good time, settling into the role. JJ Redick, the Lakers head coach, put it simply, I think he's letting his teammates in right now. And that's huge, because Luka always had the talent, always had the skill, but opening up, being more vocal, connecting with his teammates on a deeper level, that's what separates good players from franchise-changing superstars. Luka himself acknowledged it when asked if he's been more vocal this season. Definitely, he said. Just trying to help the guys. I think leadership shouldn't be just one player, it should be more players. And I think we have that. Everyone talks a lot. It feels like everyone is on the same page. That's the kind of maturity you want from your best player. Recognizing that everyone needs to lead, everyone needs to feel ownership of the team's success. LeBron James missed the first month with sciatica, and honestly, that might have been the best thing for Luka's development as a Laker. He got to be the guy from day one. No questions about sharing responsibilities, no wondering who takes the last shot, no media narratives about whose team this really is. For those first 15 games, it was Luka's show, and he ran it like a veteran. On November 19th against Utah, LeBron made his season debut. The questions were immediate. How would they share the ball? How would the offense still flow? Could two ball-dominant players coexist? Luka answered everything in one night. 37 points, 10 assists, 4 steals, on 11 for 22 shooting, led an electric third-quarter run with LeBron on the floor, proving they can absolutely coexist. LeBron looked fresh, energized, and the two of them ran pick and rolls that had Utah's defense spinning in circles. The Lakers put up 140 points, won by 14, and suddenly, everyone's talking about how this duo might actually work better than anyone expected. Because here's what makes it scary for the rest of the league. Luka and LeBron are both elite playmakers. Both can run an offense, both can create for others. That means they don't need the ball in their hands every possession to be effective. LeBron can play off ball, cut to the basket, shoot catch and shoot threes. Luka can operate in the post, run pick and rolls, collapse defenses and kick out. And with DeAndre Ayton protecting the rim, Austin Reeves providing secondary scoring, and with Jake LaRavia and Rui Hachimura spacing the floor, this Lakers roster suddenly looks like a real contender. Against New Orleans on November 15th, Luka had 24 points on 6 for 16 shooting. Not his most efficient night, but he added 12 assists because he recognized his shot wasn't falling and made a conscious decision to get his teammates involved. Austin Reeves went off for 31 that night, and the Lakers won 118 to 104. And that's what great players do. They find ways to help their team win even when their individual performance isn't spectacular. When the shots aren't falling, Luka becomes a distributor. When the defense loads up on him, he finds the open man. That two-way impact is what makes him so valuable. You can't just focus on stopping his scoring, because then he'll pick you apart as a passer. You can't just focus on his passing, because then he'll score 40 on your head. So where does this leave the NBA heading into December? You've got Luka Dončić averaging 34 points. You've got him running an offense that ranks in the top 5 in efficiency. You've got him playing alongside LeBron James on a Lakers team that's 4th in the Western Conference. And you've got a player who's motivated by being told he wasn't good enough. He's heard all the criticism about his conditioning, his work ethic, his commitment, who's responded by transforming his body, his leadership, and his entire game. And that's a nightmare scenario for the rest of the Western Conference, because Luka's only 26 years old. He's entering his absolute prime, he's on a team with championship aspirations, and he's playing with a chip on his shoulder, the size of Texas. The Mavericks certainly regret how they handled that situation. Nico Harrison got fired, and Dallas is sitting there watching the player they gave up dominate the Western Conference. Meanwhile, the Lakers are building something special with Luka as the centerpiece. This is a generational talent who figured out how to be more efficient, more mature, and more impactful than ever before. His step-back three is unguardable, his playmaking is elite, his size creates mismatches every night, his foul-drawing ability puts defenses in foul trouble, and his competitiveness drives him to destroy anyone who doubted him. That's why he's a nightmare for the NBA, because there's no defensive scheme that stops all of that. There's no game plan that eliminates him. There's no strategy that makes him less dangerous over 48 minutes. You just have to hope he has an off night and pray your team can weather the storm. Luka Dončić came to Los Angeles with everything to prove. The trade, the criticism, the public doubt about whether he could be the guy on a championship team. All of it fueled his historic start. And what we're watching is a player at the peak of his powers, combining skill, size, basketball IQ, and pure competitive fire into a package that's basically unguardable. The Lakers are 11-4, they're 4th in the Western Conference, They've got LeBron James back healthy, and they've got Luka playing like an MVP. They might still be another piece away from being serious contenders in the West, but the foundations are there. The Luka era in Los Angeles has officially begun, and if these first 15 games of the season are any indication, the rest of the league better figure something out fast. If you think Luka's on pace for an MVP season with the Lakers, hit that like button and let me know in the comments, what's more impressive, his scoring or his playmaking? And if you enjoyed this video, check out one of these on your screen now.